Yes guys, we are of course back with another video. So today I want to talk a little bit about something that hit quite close to home, and at the time it was pretty fucking terrifying because this thing only happened an hour away from where I actually am. And that thing was of course the Manchester Arena bombing. So this was a suicide bomb attack that happened in Manchester, England on the 22nd of May, sorry that was my computer, 2017. And this is where 23 people, mostly young people, were killed, including the bomber himself, who was named Salman Abedi. Now this attack happened shortly after an Ariana Grande concert when people were leaving, and it happened in the arena's foyer. Now the foyer was where many of the young people's parents and carers were waiting for them to finish watching this pretty awesome concert that they'd just finished watching, and it's also where merchandise sellers were selling their wares. So as I mentioned, many of these were of course young people. There were 14,000 people who attended this concert, and of that 14,000, 22 were killed and over 100 were injured. And the mayor of Manchester was also there, which I guess you can call a high profile figure, I suppose, in some respect. Now this thing was claimed the most deadliest attack in the UK since the London bombings back on the 7th of July 2005. There were several pictures and videos online of these young people and people just covered in blood making their way home after this bombing had been done at this concert, and it was incredibly sad to see. You know, there's a bunch of people who have gone out for the afternoon and for the evening to a concert only to come back home completely traumatized and scarred for life. So let's talk a little bit about the person who was responsible, or rather the people who were responsible for this act and this horrible act of terrorism. And I do apologise if this bit turns into a bit of a rant. I've not really prepared for it. I'm a little bit tired recently. I think a bit of a break's coming up. I didn't really do much in the way of notes, so I do apologise if this turns into a little bit of a rant, but we like rants, I think. I think rants are okay once in a while. Salman Abedi. Salman Abedi was a 22-year-old British male who was of the Sunni Islamic faith. He was already well known to British security services around the UK. He was born to a family of refugees in Libya who managed to move to the UK and settle in the south of Manchester. The attack that he carried out was done using an improvised explosive device which was actually built by his brother Hashem Abedi, who, after his brother had died, was convicted of these 22 murders and also with conspiracy to cause an explosion. As he should be, because obviously he helped build the explosive for his older brother. Now it's extremely clear that this man should have been seen as a security threat as soon as he was seen at the concert. And it was said by the UK government that this man he had many opportunities to be seen as a threat and reported, just given by the fact that he was already known by the British Security Service. And it's known that one of the main reasons, and possibly the main reason that this man wasn't identified, is because one of the security guards apparently said that he didn't want to be seen as a racist for reporting him for an act of terrorism. And that's sad, because the security guard being scared to report a man because he didn't want to seem racist effectively ended in the lost lives of 22 people. I mean, young people as well. So it's, yeah, what the fuck? And there's a bunch of other reasons as to why he should have been identified as a threat as soon as he was seen trying to get into this concert with a backpack. For example, a member of the public actually reported him to one of the company guards. The company was called Showsec, who was putting this whole concert on, and he was reported to this Showsec security guard 15 whole minutes before this explosion happened. One of the other stewards also tried to raise an alarm to the control room, but he apparently couldn't get through on his device. And Salman also managed to creep through CCTV blind spots as if he'd already sort of thought out this plan beforehand. And also, apparently, the Showsec staff weren't even fully trained enough to recognise threats. And this, obviously, all these things put together had a huge effect, and it was a massive error on the Showsec staff's part. And this all, of course, resulted in the death of over 20 people and hundreds injured. The terror threat in the UK was raised after this, and it was fucking terrifying. I was scared shitless when it happened, because it was very, very close to home. Very close to home. And I'm not, of course, going to sit here and say, oh, the Showsec staff should have done better, because it's one of those unfortunate things that it happened. It happened. It's extremely sad. It's just a huge shame that the Showsec staff didn't realise that this man was a threat in the first place, and it's a shame that because of this 20 plus young people had to lose their lives early, all because of one man. And then a few weeks after this, they put on a show. It got people involved. A few singers and stuff sang, and all that, and just in memorial of these people. And I sat and watched the concert. It was a beautiful concert. You had the likes of Justin Bieber coming over, and this was all set in Manchester again, and it was really nice to see. And it just gave a bit of, shall we say, closure to the whole situation. But the only problem was the terror threat was still up. It was still up, and it was still so scary for a lot of people after this had happened, especially up in the north, and especially for me and a lot of others, I imagine. And that's all I've really got to say about that. Like I said, I do apologise if this turned into some kind of rant, but I'm a bit tired, and I felt a rant coming on. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you want, like, subscribe, maybe click that little bell next to the subscribe button. You get my latest updates. It's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.